live, uncut, unedited, tell the truth, and shame the devil. I love being black. You already you already know you already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited, tell the truth, and shame the devil. I love being black. All right, this is your boy Mark G, aka the Crime Chaser. We're back live, uncut, and unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. Come on in, come on in. We had a great discussion last night, and you folks, y'all was off the chain last night. You got to get some order in the house. All right, let's get it going, people. Let's get it going. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. All right. We're live, uncut, unedited. And who do we have in the house tonight? What's up, Tiffany? We got Tiffany in the house tonight. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. I see you, Tiffany. I see you. I see you. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you. YouTube in the house. YouTube is in the house. YouTube in the house. My YouTube family in the house. In the house. YouTube family in the house. All right. Let's get this going. All right. Get that screen clean. All right. Multitasking. What's up? Lanisha. Lanisha, what's up? Multitasking. Lanisha. Man, we got a whole lot to talk about, man. We're going to be all over the place today, people. I'm telling you, it's going to be all over the place, man. We might go from Chicago to California to New York. It's so much going on. And I love it when I hear people always blaming politicians, blaming the preachers. And yes, they do have some blame in it. But if you waiting on some politicians to fix all of your problems, I guarantee you'll be waiting another 100 years. 100 years. Miss Jackson, I see you. I see you. Bob, what's going on? I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you, Tibbet. You're welcome. All right. Miss Noble, good evening, Martin. I can't believe I fell asleep and it was still early in San Diego. Well, I'm wide awoke right now. Great show last night. I got to go back and finish it. Oh, it was a great show. Sarge sold out last night. Sarge confessed to us last night. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. What's that, little Tanya? I see you. I miss you too. Aaron, what's up, bro? Hey, I need y'all to like the video. Please like the video. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, people. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be very appreciative of you guys. We're not asking you to give us no money. We're not asking you to donate. We need you to subscribe to the channel. Sunday, what's up, Sunday? I see you. I see you. I see you. We're just asking you to subscribe to the channel. If you could do that, that would be very appreciative, okay? All right. If you can do that, I will love for you guys to do that. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is live, uncut, unedited. And this is real. Now, if you want to support this channel, you're more than welcome. Hot Pockets, that's right, multitask. That was Sarge last night. I tell you, we got Vegas in there. Listen, people, wherever you're from, please check in. If you're whatever state or city you check in, just check in. Just check in so I can acknowledge you. Because I know I am from Chicago. And a lot of my listeners, I have more listeners from out of state than in Chicago. That's real talk. So, all right, we got Vegas in the house. All right. Sonny, that's my daughter's name. Okay. All right, Brother Benjamin. All right. We had a great show last night. Old school versus new school. I don't know. To me, this thing to me is young people feel like they don't have to listen to the older people, and the older people feel like they don't have to listen to the young people. What's up with that? What is up with that, people? What is up with that? Why we can't get along? Why can't we get along? Young folks versus older folks. California in the house. Vicky, what's up, Vicky? I see you. South Carolina in the house. Texas in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all Chicago people, y'all better appreciate the Crime Chaser live, uncut, unedited. Call in 872-299-0808. We want to talk about the young versus old. We want to talk against the male, talk about the male against the female, the light skin against the dark skin. We want to talk about it. We want to talk about it. I think I got Hot Pockets on the line. Hot Pockets, what's up, man? Sarge, Hot Pockets, y'all. All right. All right. What's up, Sarge?
I joined.
Hot Pockets on the live, y'all. We got Hot Pockets on the live. I think he admitted it last night. He should have never let that come out of his mouth. What's up, Sarge? Hot Pockets.
Oh, what's going on, man?
Hey, Sarge, man, we've been talking about. Go ahead.
You know the reason I said that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why I said that.
Come on, tell us, man.
That is the most blatant way to disrespect somebody. As a male, be like, dude, I'm not gonna say what I said last night.
Please don't.
Just to see that look on your face, like,
yeah, because hey,
you
boy,
know what I'm saying?
Hey, they was calling you Hot Pockets last night. Side's a Hot Pocket.
They call me whatever they want to call me. Martin, I'm like this here. They can call me whatever they want to call me. What they need to be doing is hitting your Cash App supporting the show like they're supposed to.
That's true.
We're supposed to be some black on black supporting, ain't we?
Yeah, we supposed to. Some
all
folks.
Right, then, I tell them.
Hey, Sarge, some folks will cheer you on, but they give you a pat. They get all the money to these crooked folks. Man, that's what I don't understand. Folks ain't about the people.
I told somebody.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody. They're talking about some DJ and stuff. I said, look, man, I'll DJ for a Klan rally if the money right.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the money. Shoot, while you playing, you gonna support. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Because I see it happen so much. You get so much doggone. You get a lot of black lip service, but you sure don't get a lot of black hip service.
Deborah Cooper, what's up?
What goes in your wallet? I mean, where your wallet go? Ain't that in your hip pocket?
Yeah. Brother.
Your wallet in your hip pocket. See, they got a lot of lip service, but they sure ain't got no lot of hip service, do they?
That's right, Brother Lewis Ramsey. That's a great supporter, man. Brother Lewis always support me. Always, Some of these people, it's some of the same people always giving, and these other folks, man, they'll pet you on and praise you. But they won't. See, I was taught, this is how I was taught, people, and I'm not trying to get no money out of nobody. I was taught when people give you money, that goes to show you the level of support that they believe in what you're doing. They believe in what you're doing. Yeah, what you're trying to do, rather, if I could say that.
No.
Yeah, some folks, man, they
shows appreciation.
And listen, they be looking for a clown show on here. Now, we do clown on here, sorry, sometimes. But our show is not based on sometimes it's not based on clowning at all. We're not kicking in nobody's doors. We're not doing no drive-by shootings and all that. And we're not pulling no stunts on here.
No.
We ain't doing none of that on. We talking truth. Yeah, and that's real talk. That's real talk. Now look here. Now look on the screen, Josh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Look on the screen. Look on the screen. Look at that. Look on the screen. Somebody send me a super chat. Deborah Cooper. Now, I've been knowing Deborah for years. She always support.
That's what's up.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Up.
That's what we're talking about.
See?
Yeah.
And you know, and it happens. And you don't ever bring it up because you didn't roll that way. You know, I'm gonna bring up the money.
Right.
If anybody gonna bring up money, I'm gonna bring up the money because I'm like, hey, y'all need to support this brother because he's got a great platform. And like you said, he get crazy here and there. But overall, it's a whole lot of good information. Whole lot of good information.
Whole lot of good information. That's right.
You had to listen to Benjamin Crump beat them out their money.
Yeah.
Talking about all this racism and this and that and that and this. But have you ever noticed that he only do that when it's a doggone situation where it's a white cop or something that kills somebody black because he know that they gonna have that doggone lawsuit and he gonna represent the lawsuit. He finna get paid.
Oh yeah, he definitely getting paid.
He gonna get paid.
He definitely get paid.
He making big money. All these people that talk the most stuff about racism are them that got plenty of money, and then what they do is they get people that ain't got money to doggone just be their little foot soldiers. Like you have what's that woman name? Just Whoopi Goldberg. I have to visualize it in my mind.
What up? Hold on, sorry. What up, DJ Vince?
That woman make millions.
Yeah. Adam, what up, man? Yeah, make millions.
Millions. Talking about how racist it is and how hard it is to come up in America. Really? Well, how'd you get so lucky to get $60 million? Let us know your recipe. You dig? But no, they see.
Hey, listen.
You know, on here, everybody keep it real.
Yeah, we keep it real. And you know what, Sarge? You got to admit, we got Democrats and Republicans on here, too. Sometimes we don't get along. Sometimes we do. We do. And I never knock nobody party. Do I, Sarge? I let everybody talk.
Nope.
I don't cut nobody off. Whatever you are, I let you be who you are. And, you know, that's how I operate on here. And it's supposed to be a safe place.
An open forum. That's just like when you had the dude, he ain't called back yet, and that really hurt my feelings. The Sicilian.
Who that? Who you talking about, Sarge?
You remember that nigga?
Who?
The Sicilian.
Oh, yeah. The white, Mr. White Man. Mr. White Man, yeah. Mr. White Man, if you listen to us tonight, call in, Mr. White Man. Call in tonight. Yeah. This would be a great show for you to call in tonight.
I was like, you a Sicilian, right? Yeah. I'm like, you a nigga too. You thought you was white, huh? You running around like these Mexicans. So why you think you don't get sunburned out in that sun like regular white folk? Because you ain't white. Oh Lord, wow. That show was a humdinger, Martin. That one goes down in the history of the Martin G. Johnson shows right there.
Hey, boy. But hey, Sarge, now didn't I ride that patience? I was so patient with him. I didn't buck, I didn't frown, I was so, man, y'all was snapping. I like, hold on, let me handle this. All right, now listen, people, we're gonna get.
You was trying to calm the sister
down.
Because she kept, she was about to lose her mind. Yeah. You was like, sister, let me handle this.
All right, let's get started, man. I want to talk about, this is what I want to talk about today. So everybody, we don't have no specific title, but this is what Martin Johnson want to talk about. I want to talk about some of what we had going on last night. Why is it that the young people, and I'm talking about African-American, black folks, or whatever you go about, call yourself, we don't get along. The young versus the old. We just don't get along. It just, last night, it was off the chain. You know, it was just, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out why we don't get along. You know, why we just.
I know you.
Well, look, all right, let me, hold on, before you get started. People to call in number is 872-299-0808. 872-299-0808 or 872-297-63. Why don't older women and older men and younger women get along? Why older men and younger men don't get along? Why light skin and dark skin don't get along? It's only with us. What's up with that? Come on, Sarge. Mama Poppins. Come on. How you? I see you, Mama. Yeah. Trina, what's up, Trina?
Well, it's like this here.
Let me hear it.
Say if
Go ahead.
if I'm playing around with my grandkids, the males, I'm playing around with them like we friends, we buddies. They ain't gonna have no respect for somebody older to tell them, sit down. They ain't gonna have that respect. So what's going on with the young men? The young men don't have older men in their life.
You're breaking it.
Them how to become men, because the older men supposed to be older than in their 40s. They chasing a little 20-year-old girl.
You're breaking up, Sarge. Now, let me say this, Sarge. Well, some older men like them young. Some like them young. They don't want nothing old age.
Well, yeah. We know that, but the thing is, you're not getting the respect that you supposed to be getting from your youngins. It's just like with my son. If an older person is talking to him, now he may not like what that person is saying, but he's not going to challenge him. See? Because he knows better. It's like, okay, I'm going to let them talk. And if I let them talk, they're going to get done, and I'm just going to walk away.
Sarge, let me let people know. For those of you just tuning in, we're talking about why don't the younger people and the older people get along? Why don't older women and younger women don't get along? Why don't older men and younger men get along? Why light skin and dark skin don't get along? I mean, why? Why is it? Why? I'm just asking a question. Somebody call in and give me some answers and what y'all think. And how can we bridge the gap? How can we bridge that gap? Because I noticed on this program, now, Sarge, we may have some younger people that's listening. When I say younger, in their 30s or even maybe some teens, they don't call in. They don't call in. Now, I'm welcome young people. And I want them to call in. I want to hear what they got to say. You know, because older people such as me and you, Sarge, we point the finger at the younger people. We be like, look at the young people. They shooting. They doing drive-by shootings. They popping pills. They doing this. And I'm guilty of it. And it's true. I'm guilty of it. But when they come over here on this show, Sarge, we have a tendency to beat them across the head with some words. And then they get frustrated. Then they don't want to call in, or then they get to cussing. Prime example, last night, we had a 41-year-old man. He cussed you out. You said some things, you got out of your body.
Yeah, I did. He's like, well, I'm 41. I'm a GD. I'm like, dude, you know, after you 22 years old, you're supposed to admit and let all that business go and get into adulting and being a man. But I digress. And he took offense to that. That's why I told him that I treat him like an inmate. You know, ain't that what they do to him in prison?
Yeah.
I mean, last I heard, I'm like, well, you ain't got to be in prison. I'll oblige you just to see that look on your face. Now, that pew-pew to your doggone temple.
Now, people,
but that's a whole other.
We listen to people.
Now, with the women folk.
Go ahead.
With the women folk, you have, and you done seen it just like I seen it. You see it. You got the older women. They trying to compete with the younger women for the same men. You got that. You got that going on, Martin.
Yeah, you do.
And I know you done seen it.
You finna start a war on Sarge, but I'm ready. We ain't
gotta name nobody's name now.
Right.
But you know, you see that then you got the young women. Some of them are running behind the older men because they're like, well, he got money, so if I'm gonna give it to somebody, why I'm gonna give it away for free? It ain't nothing about no love. It's about transaction. Ain't no more relationships. Everything is transactional.
So, in other words,
I mean, stop me when I lie.
Yeah, in other words, they fall in love with the hand and not the man, huh?
Talk
the
to me
hand
quick, don't talk to me
and
quick.
not the man. So what the man can give them.
Get that love from the hip. They don't care what come out the lips. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So,
and then with the light skin, dark skin thing, that goes all the way back to slavery.
Yeah.
House Negro, field Negro. That ain't gonna never change. That's ingrained, and that's just like racism changing in the United States. This country was founded on racism. It's never gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
So people just need to be honest. That's all they need to do. I'm like this, Martin. If white folks don't like me because they don't like black folks, let me know up front. We don't like your kind around here. Good. Now I know to stay the hell away from you. See, just let me know. I wasn't born to be liked. I wasn't born to be nobody's friend. But don't smile in my face and you doggone serving me up on a platter. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Don't do that there now. If you don't like me, you let me know.
Yeah.
We don't like your kind of around
Sarge,
here.
we got to take
I can respect that.
We got to get somebody now. Listen, y'all gonna let this gonna be the Martin and Sarge show today, huh? Y'all not gonna call in, and I know this is a subject that we all could talk. We could talk about. This is everybody can talk about this. Young people, if you're out there and you're listening in, tell us why can't you get along with older people? I want to know. What is it that irks you about older people? When I say young, you could be in your 30s and under, because most of us, Sarge in his 60s, I'm in my late 50s. So it's a lot of people around my age group that's on here tonight. So call in 872-299-0808. I want to hear from you. And I promise you, we're not going to beat up on you. We want to hear from you. Tell us what you don't like about these old folks. Sarge, now, is it me? This is just me speaking now, because I said that don't mean it's law. I notice in females, I'm talking about black females, all females actually, you got the older females trying to look young and the younger females trying to look old. Have you noticed that? I've noticed that, and I could be wrong.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I noticed it's like a role reversal. Yeah. It's like a role reversal.
And it goes right down to the men too.
Yeah. Look, we got a call. Somebody called in.
You had that.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Tom.
but let me give you this one here. Now you had that white woman that was from South Africa. What is it, Charlene?
Okay.
The Thiaz or whatever it is. She's from South Africa. Now this woman, she came to the United States.
Hurry up, Sarge. We got a caller. You can't tell it all.
She was bragging, talking about, she's 49. She was bragging, talking about she was with this 26-year-old dude. I'm sitting here like, a man of any consenting age, if you're a good looking woman, he's going to oblige you with that thing. See? So that ain't no brag. Women can't brag on a man, toe it up. Men brag on tearing women up because we can't readily get a 26-year-old woman. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. All right,
we can't readily do that.
Let's go to this new caller. Hey, new caller.
Yeah,
last four digits, 8250.
Hey,
how you doing? So talk to us.
Hi.
I need you to be real now. Don't sugarcoat.
How are you?
Listen, I know who you are.
I'm gonna be real. What's up, Sarge? What's up, Sarge?
Don't sugarcoat nothing.
And bring your volume up a little bit. Bring your volume up.
Can y'all?
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear Sarge?
That's better.
Okay. Yeah, it was kind of low.
Okay. All right, now keep it real.
I say good evening to everybody listening tonight. I think this is a great topic. When you begin to ask the question, which is what do we believe as your listeners is going on with elders, young people, light skins, dark skins, young and old. However, I have had the luxury of being raised by my elders. I've had the luxury of living with my elders, and then I still do have quite a few elders that are still alive to this day. So this is a perfect topic to bring up because I actually share a lot of love between those gaps, even though I am a 35-year-old woman. And yes, older people off back, they do deserve our respect.
But
Coming from some things that I've saw in my life, yes, older people do deserve younger people's respect. And when I say younger people, it don't matter if it's a child, a mid-aged person, or, you know, somebody 10 to 20 years off of somebody, such as the age gap in between me and you, Mr. Martin,
right,
and how we've connected over the past 2 years, you know, even though that age gap is there, because there is room for understanding somebody, even though y'all see life out of two different telescopes, basically. So, yes. However, I have experience from work environments, being around certain different family members.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Because you're not always around your family. I have learned that, yes, there are angry people who are out here of all ages, all colors, and yes, they are inflicting a lot of their, you know, past ways of how their, you know, life had been for them. Yes, they're projecting it onto the younger people. We have different things that we have gotten used to and that we like. Older people don't like that stuff.
Give us some examples.
Flat out true.
Give us some examples.
We don't got to go. Okay, I will.
Give us some examples.
Give some examples. I will. However, I'm gonna finish my, you know,
okay, go ahead.
Part of the statement first.
Okay, go ahead.
Try to end off with giving some examples. The colorism, it comes from the elders. They don't want to admit that, and that is a part of some issues that I'm seeing lately with how people is communicating and accepting people. You got people that say things that hurt people forever. They don't admit it. They don't take no acknowledgement. They don't take no accountability, but they want the other side to do the same for them. A lot of narcissism has went on. People just starting to learn about what narcissism is. Sometimes it be too late because people be getting hurt behind a lot of the stuff and the manipulating ways that people have acted toward their own people. And last but not least, community. Understanding what it meant to really believe in your village if you had the blessing of having one, that is missing. That is a part of what's missing with the gap between us as of all our age groups and all our colors, because all of this racism that we've actually been taught is by design, is systematically it makes money. Racism makes money. And if older people are not getting ready to really start talking about what it is and why we got so many Uncle Toms, how people like to talk about it, or people that just completely cut off where they from or what their culture is because they tired and they don't want to live certain ways no more. Older people need to be honest about that too, just as the younger people who cut themselves off from their peers and their people once they make so much amount of money and get so much amount of notoriety from their community or whatever they have done in their life, whether they become famous or not. It's real. People need to start humbling themselves more, no matter if you are somebody who got a lot of money, got a lot of fame, and got a lot of things that you can do in your state or not. You know, the village is missing, the community, and the fact that these young people don't care about living. They have nothing to live for because the older people are completely shutting them out, not giving them chances, even though they probably are at their wit's end trying to say, damn it, I want to turn away from whatever lifestyle I may have come accustomed to learn. And older people are mean. They speak in ways that are very disrespectful. And everybody deserves respect, and that is what I'm seeing and what I'm witnessing going on in our realities today.
Oh, she summed that up nicely.
Thanks, Sarge. I appreciate it.
You summed that up nicely. Now, see, when you have older people that are not willing to acknowledge things, you know, that you got a big problem there. That's like when people they be talking, I'd be like, well, light skin privilege is real. And they go, see, they lose their mind. And I'm like, I'm giving you facts. I'm not doggone throwing this in your face because I'm light skinned. I'm giving you matters of fact. Light skin privilege is real.
Exactly.
That's a real thing in this country. But you have people, now you got some light skinned folk, they screwed up because, you know, they the most, some of them are the most, right.
Okay, what happened?
Black y'all, I'm bliggity blackity black. You know, they so bliggity bliggity black that it's like, well, really, bro? But you know, you look like Smokey Robinson, but you bliggity bliggity black, huh?
Hey,
Sarge. Too hard.
Sarge.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me talk to the sister. I know her personally. We've been knowing each other about 2 years. I want to say
she bundled it up nice.
Okay, yeah, she was real nice with it. I want to say she was yeah. Now let me say, sister. Let me just say this. Now let me ask you a question. From your experience working in a workplace, in the public, what's your take on older people? What is your vibe that you see coming from older people? I'm not talking about your relatives that know you. I'm talking to people that don't know you. You're around them on the jobs or in the park or something. People in the grocery store. What is your vibe that you get from older people? Now, I'm not talking about just men, because men like younger women, but I'm talking about other, older people, period. Maybe another woman. How they view you guys. You think, you feel?
Okay, that's great. That's a great question. For the past 6 or 7 years, I've experienced my share of learning ways of older women, especially in the workplace, in a professional workplace. And yes, there is a level of intimidation that older women have probably tried their best to fight through on their own, but they project it. They assume things about you as a person, instead of knowing that, what their thoughts is correct. And it's just because of regular, in my opinion, women just naturally learn how to be messy, and they really don't probably unlearn how to be messy until they find themselves in some mess that they so fed up with that they never want to go through again, and then they kind of pump their brakes and they pull back on being a messy person. That's what I've witnessed and I've experienced. Pettiness. In my opinion, men and women, they put their own judgment on situations they don't have the right to even be speaking upon in that nature. So they create a line of disrespect. They cross boundaries. They don't give people the chance to really open up. It's like years and years worth of just like kind of unlearning and relearning how to treat somebody that you love, even though they're probably a stranger to you, or they're somebody that you know through somebody else. It's like the respect, it's not there. And I heard Sarge, when I first got on to the call this evening, say that you got the older women that's competing, and yeah, it's not cute, it's not funny. it's very, 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 very wrong. How many times women have to get on their computer and watch older women basically put themselves in positions to try to be in competition with women when we need to be coming together. And I will give a shout out to a woman that I actually came into contact with through doing home health care the past few months this year. And her name is Emily, and she actually invited me out to an event that's coming up the last week of July that is called Women of Wisdom. And she didn't even know that I've been forming a non-for-profit and that I advertise for this non-for-profit and that I've helped out people, help get employed or anything they need with resources and human resources and all of that. But this is the type of initiative that older individuals have to take in order to bridge the gap. And I appreciate people like that.
I need you to hold it right there.
Yeah, that is what we missing.
We got a new caller. Okay, for those of you just tuned in, we're talking about why is it that older people, older men and younger men don't get along, older women and younger women don't get along. Why is it that light skin and dark skin don't get along? I'm talking about us, people that look like us. So we got a caller. That's what we're talking about. 2742. Hey, caller, what's your thoughts or your comments?
Hey, Martin. Hey. So I go off this. So everybody is an individual, right? And what happens is this, like some people are raised on a moral compass that they can speak on all subjects for all kinds of people, regardless of what the background that person comes from, even if they agree or disagree. Okay. And a lot of times with the division of older and younger, sometimes it's like morals never leave. You get what I'm saying? I don't care what age you are, morals never leave you. So I was listening to the lady was speaking how, older women intimidated by young women. Anywhere I've ever worked in my life, I never had an issue with that. But that's because I can talk to any age group on any plateau because you got to understand everything comes from how you raised and your intelligence. I don't have to agree with you, but I'm willing to listen to your opinion and you can listen to mine, and so that's what it comes to. Like a lot of stuff I don't agree with because it depends on how you were raised, but I can still accept your opinion. And sometimes people can't accept yours. And what happens is that this one guy was on there saying that people, old people judge them. I've learned this in life. It's not about a judge. It's just that people call people out on their BS and they don't like it. Because if you won't feel this judging if it wasn't nothing wrong with the situation. Like if I'm doing something right and I find nothing wrong with it and somebody says something about it and I get mad, it's because I know it's something wrong with it. It's just common sense. But sometimes people look at somebody judging them. No, they're just calling you out on things that you know is wrong, but you refuse to fix it because you think you've been doing it so long. And when it comes to like light skinned, dark skinned, my mom's dark skinned. My dad's light skinned, but I'm light. But I've never been colorist because my daughter's dark skinned. It's just the point of ignorance, and it's the point of this to know that we all are black. We just come in so many different shades. Mm-hmm. And I'm thankful, like my mom she taught me so many things as a kid that as an adult I knew how to act and how to conduct myself. And it always goes back to raising. Like when we get grown or when we're teenagers, we do certain things. But when you're raised with certain morals, you do not forget them. That's like you don't forget to tie your shoe, don't forget to do certain things. So it comes to morals. Everything circulates back to morals. Even when you work in a professional field, you have some people who come to work. When you come to work, they may have their ways. But for me, I've been thankful that I never had an issue with women at workplaces because I'm respectful to them. I don't hardly engage and get into their personal business. I just come to do my job or whatever like that and make small talk. But sometimes people come to work to look for a friend. And it's okay sometimes, but sometimes you got to leave work as business. This is a business. This is a place I come to make my money. I shouldn't take it personal. But sometimes when it comes to women at jobs, and unfortunately, Martin, black women, what they will do is this. Okay, it's every other race work at a job, right? So you have some black women feel like, well, since they're black, they're supposed to talk to me. I don't care if the other races talk to me, but you shouldn't even look at it like that. If this individual woman or man wants to talk to you, fine. Don't look at race. Look at if they really want to talk to you and like you as a person. And unfortunately, sometimes we as black people, we feel like because we all black, we should get along. In a perfect world, but every other race, they don't get along sometimes either, but you just don't see it. We make it seen at the workplace or even in general in public, even on Facebook.
Okay.
So it all comes back to a moral compass, and it comes back to we always feel in some kind of way. I would feel some type of way about another person don't want to be bothered with you. You should accept it. You should never feel a certain way about a person having an opinion. That's all it is. It's not necessarily fact. But a lot of people, they say, well, I feel they shouldn't have said that. Again, your feelings, instead of just looking at the logical or the realistic thing of it. And that's all it all comes to. So that's just my opinion on everything.
We're going to the next call. Thank you for that. 5048. Hey, caller. 5048.
Hey, what's up, Martin?
What's going on?
I just had to say this. I feel like the young and old, they come together because if you look at TikTok is like a spot where they,
I need you to talk a little louder, brother. I need you to speak up in the mic.
Speak up.
Yeah, you need to speak up, bro. Don't have me on speakerphone. Take me off Bluetooth, speakerphone. Yeah, he hung up. All right. Yeah, he made it.
Man, that was real low. I couldn't even hear.
Yeah, it was real low.
I had my phone on mute to make sure that I had no background noise at all, even though it's silent in here, but still.
Right. Well, we do. Let me just say this, people. We have a lot of differences, and we seen it on display last night. We seen it last night on display. The older men were going at the younger man. The younger man was going at the old man. I believe the younger man started it, though. First, all this swearing over the live. And, I kind of felt bad because I want this to be a safe space for us to speak our own opinion. And, we all have opinions. We all have it, and I want people to be free on this channel so we can talk, especially about our issues. And we have so many different problems. We won't be able to solve all the problems, but we want to know. Sometimes we as blacks, we do things, we're not aware of what we do. Sometimes you may not cuss me out, but your looks cuss me out. You may not say something smart to me, but your body language, your mannerism, it says it all. And I think that's what some of our problems in the black community, and I think you said it last night, Sarge, correct me if I'm wrong, that a lot of black people lack conflict resolution skills. And that, and I think that base come from our emotions. We're very emotional people, rightfully so. We operate on our emotions. We have to, cause we got a new call. Let me take this new caller real quick. I believe that's Marcus. Is that you, Marcus? 9449. Go ahead. What's you know the topic? What's your comments and thoughts?
So just to be clear, your topic is about older people
and younger people. Right. Why we don't get along.
Okay.
Lights against dark, women against younger women, men against younger men. Why is it? Well, what's your experience?
Well, my experience, I can say that when I was younger, I learned a lot from older people. I was the type of person who listened to older people. I didn't always agree with them, but I learned a lot from older people. And because I listened and learned, I am who I am today. And I think that young people today, they feel insulted when an older person try to tell them something that will benefit them. They feel insulted because they want to hold up this reputation that they may have, or street clout, if you would call it, amongst other young people. And I think some older people today, they feel intimidated when a young person seems to know more than what they know about a certain field. For instance, these young people know how to navigate. These young people know how to navigate TikTok, Facebook, and all that. They know how to promote and sell things better than older people. They know how to work these computers better than older people. And the music, for instance, we may not like the music that they produce, but they produce music that brings crowds to the table. They have ideas, and we sometimes are offended by their ideas. And so, because we've been on this earth long enough, there are some older people still that a young person can't tell them anything. And where that plays out at, I've been a young minister, Martin, and when you go into a church, the pastor wants to challenge you. The older pastor wants to challenge you because he feels that he's the elder. He knows more about God than you know. But there are young people who have experienced God at an early age, probably being sick, probably being unsaved and going through some hard times, and they met God along the way. I think that the problem is neither side wants to listen to neither side because they're competing against each other. But
Amen.
if we start listening to each other, we could be stronger. And this goes on in not only just the black community, but you have white folks as well. The younger whites think they know more than the older whites. The older people may know more than young people, but we tend to overdo it because you can learn from young people. And I've learned that growing up in Inglewood. That's what got me through Inglewood. Listening to younger people, much younger than I am, who was out there in the street. They know what's going on in the street. They know what blocks that you shouldn't walk down and what blocks are safe for you to walk down. They know stuff that some older people don't know it. Some older people feel intimidated by it. How do we close that gap? We need to start listening to each other and quit hating each other. As far as the race, the light-skinned thing, I haven't had no experience, but I have seen that some light-skinned people think that they're better than dark-skinned people. Some dark-skinned people think they're better than light-skinned people, when we all consider one in the eyes of those that hate us and in the eyes of God. And that's why I stand on it.
Okay. Well, let me ask a question. As I said last night, Sarge is my witness. The scripture said he called the young man for war and older man for counsel. You know, and the reason why I'm saying that, some folks, they still wet behind the ears. They don't know anything. And we have to listen. And I said last night too as well, Sarge could back me up, it's two things you can't have at the same time. That's youth and experience. One has to be like another. It's impossible to have both. So, yes, the young people can tell us things, show us things, but also the older people, they have the wisdom. They have the wisdom. They've been through some things. Now, I understand I find this with the females, the older females. They call themselves schooling the younger females on their experiences. All men ain't no good. You can't put your experience on your daughter or on your niece because you went out there and played the fool. And what do you mean by that, Martin?
See?
You done slept with all these different men. Now you got so many miles on you. Don't nobody want you old. Now you ain't in your prime no more. Now you bitter. You're bitter. Same way with men. Man, you went out there. You done slept with this woman and that woman and this woman. You got babies everywhere. You got babies that you don't even know where they're at. Now all of a sudden you sickly now. Oh, you want somebody to be by your side. But you did whatever you wanted to do with your time. You never settled down to be a real father to your children, to establish a relationship, a bond. Now you're old, you got diabetes, your private part won't get hard long, you're sickly, now you're lonely. And who wants a sickly person? Who wants you now, old man? And it can happen. I'm just telling the truth. Telling the truth.
Yeah. Well, Martin, I got a great example for you. A great example. Anybody on here that's got a 7-year-old son or grandson that ain't never been fishing, I could take that kid fishing, have them tight lining. They can catch them catfish right in that water. but do they know how to clean it when they get home? The cleaning that catfish, gutting and cleaning that catfish, that's experience. Catching the catfish is where you start off at. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But there's too many people don't want to hear that when you say it, Martin. They think you just saying words to be. You can't have youth and experience at the same time.
You cannot.
And they think they know it all.
They don't know. They don't know. You just got here.
There's been plenty of people that I have told. Young folk, I said, don't think you're the smartest one in the room just because you went to college.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Well, see, okay, when you get a flat tire, you don't know what to do but call AAA. Really now?
One of the major problems.
You don't know how to use a 4-way lug wrench on 5 lugs. Come on. Talk to me quick. Don't talk to me slick.
Young people, again, some young people don't want to listen to the older people because they feel intimidated. Or they feel like Sarge just said, you went to college and you think you know it all. College don't teach you everything. School don't teach you everything. You learn it from experience. That's how we as older people are able to tell these young people, look, don't do that. We know the consequences. They don't. They feel and they don't want to listen. And there ain't nothing you can do with them when they don't want to listen to you. And they want to turn around and threaten violence on them. Just telling them to go right.
Okay. We're going to 206. Okay. I'll come back to you, Kara. 206. Come on, bro. (206) Eric Code. I know.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm talking, and my line is muted. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Hello to Brother Martin.
Hey, how are you?
Everybody. I'm all right. It's a very excellent question. And you asked a multifaceted question. I just have 2 responses. I'll start with myself when I was young. And this deals with the young and the older discord between the young and the old. And if you weren't proper, well, let me say this. I'm gonna say this off the bat, and some of y'all might not like this, but it is my impression, due to not only my own personal experience, but experience with my peers, young men my age. Well, they were young then. We're in middle age now. Is that we have as far as I can tell, we have some of the worst parents in America. And what I mean by that, I look at myself and my own background as an example. And I'll try not to make this too quick or too short. But there was a time, I'm a man, 55 years old, grew up on the south side of Chicago. Parents were married, got divorced when I was young, and I grew up with my mother on the south side of Chicago. When it came to my upbringing, as far as my self-esteem, my self-image, valuing things such as forethought, thinking before one speaks, self-discipline, industry, I didn't learn anything. My parents didn't teach me anything of value. In fact, for 17 years, when I grew up under my mother, she taught me that I was a worthless person. She taught me that I was a loser. She was always, almost every day, she taught me that when I grew up, I would be a failure. As a man, I'll be a failure. As a father, every little thing
Tell
I did
the truth.
was a further example of how much worth.
Go ahead, bro.
Of how much of a worthless person that I was. And, there was a time in every young man's life when he's looking for the way. And then that's just my term. That's not the term. But what I mean by that is we're looking for an avenue toward empowerment. We're looking toward an avenue for self-responsibility. We're looking for an avenue toward prosperity that we can share with ourselves, our women, our children, our community. This is something that I had a deep, deep primal hunger for. And I had absolutely nobody to teach me absolutely anything of value. I grew up with no wise counsel at all. Now, I'm saying this because when I became a young adult and I began to recognize the deficit, I literally hated worthless older people. I literally hated their guts because I went into a world, I'm going to wrap this up now. I went into a world that was hostile against me. I went into a world that wanted to see me fail at every third turn. Not everybody and everywhere, but I dealt with a lot of hostility due to my race, due to my gender, due to the fact that I was tall, masculine, broad-shouldered, and I had absolutely no effing tools, emotional, mental, intellectual, or otherwise, to help me deal with all of the hostilities that I've dealt with really since birth until this moment I'm talking to you on the phone, other than what I learned on my own as I got older and more experienced.
206.
So many older people.
206. Hold it right
many
there.
Of our
206. Hold it right quick. I want to comment with something you just said.
About that.
Okay, 206. Yes. We share some of the same experiences. I want to say. I remember my mom told me, "Oh, you'll never be nothing. You'll be in jail, or you'll never be nothing." You know, and that used to hurt me. And once upon a time in my life, I believed her.
So did I.
And I was hurt, brother. I was hurt. And I love my mother. She's deceased now.
Sorry,
and I was hurt. So I could identify with you, brother, on that. And I ain't mean to cut you off, but I felt touched because I was like, I understand what this brother was saying, you know. And my mother was like all the world to me. I grew in a house with both parents, but my mama was calling the shots. And for her to say some things like that to me, it really motivated me to be great, to make what she said not come true. So that's all I want to say, brother. Go ahead, finish on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just real quick. Let me just wrap this up. But it's when I was dealing with a lot of this, when I was in the Navy, I was dealing with young men my age. I realized that so many fellas, my peers, my true peers, black men like myself, were dealing with a lot of the same things, and I was not this wasn't a path on which I was alone on this path. So it took me a long time to deal with that and to process that and to build a self-image. There was a period of time in my life when I walked down the street, like downtown in front of the department stores. I literally could not, walking down the street, I could not look at my reflection in a mirror. I could not bear to look at myself just walking down the street like everybody else in the mirror. There was so much shame and disgust and negative feelings that I really couldn't really understand where they were coming from. And when as I got in my mid to late 20s, and I began to realize the poisoning, the spiritual, mental, and emotional poisoning, really the emotional and mental abuse I dealt with for nearly 20 years, there was a lot of anger there. There was a lot of disgust. And there was a period of time, Martin, that if my parents, because my father was just as bad, I went to live with him my last year in high school, and he was the same way, because birds of a feather flock together, birds of a feather marry and start families together. They have the same mentality. If they showed up in front of me in my late 20s and the devil went poof and handed me a baseball bat, I might just now be getting out of prison. I might just now be getting paroled. Now, I'm going to leave that there. I wanted to talk about the youth not getting along, but I've taken up enough time.
We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. We got Kiara, did you want to say something? We got Bill, because I know she's been waiting patiently.
I appreciate it. I would just like to say that I agree with the last gentleman that spoke. I definitely relate to a lot of the things that he stated, and I agree. And that is why I literally have the passion to do what I do. Mental health is serious, and learning the different ways that everybody is actually affected by it, at least like once or twice in their lifetime, if they got a chance to experience it, it's real. And there are a lot of situations that, in my opinion, people in my generation are learning about how bad childhood and different things that has happened to people does mold them into being the strong-driven person that they are, being successful, how they can be, no matter their sexuality, no matter their faith, no matter what. So I just commend you, brother, for sticking clear, through any and all adversity within your life. It's people out here that do got knowledge of self, and we are not here to break people down, whether you young or old. And I definitely appreciate you speaking on that.
I want to respond.
Yeah, go ahead. 206.
My last part. I'm sorry. Because I do believe, and I'm seeing for myself, a lot of these young people are sexually frustrated, educationally frustrated. They don't know how to process their emotions, which is why we not getting along, and death is happening at the snap of a finger. So thank you all for
Go ahead, 206, and I got to get to Bill. Go ahead.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, you got it. Real quick. Sister, did you say that their experiences, however negative, is part of what drives them to be successful and to succeed? Is that what you said? Did I hear you correctly?
I believe that is a sum up of what I'm stating, and I could try to put it in a sentence again to see if it makes it clearer.
No, it's clear. You just made it clear. Yeah, you just made it clear.
I do. That is what I see. That basically people who have the stories of how they become and get so headstrong, and they block everything out and become successful. It kind of stems from that a lot of the time.
Okay. Let me say this. Let me remind you of something. Most of them, their experiences are driving them to fail. Okay, this is the problem. This is a big, not the entire thing, but this is a big part of the problem that we're looking at. The negativity that our children deal with when they're coming up is social engineering, designing them to fail. Now, some will succeed, and some will become successes, and some will be driven. But just don't forget this. Many of them have either their constitution is such, or they've been wounded to such a degree that instead of succeeding, they are failing. And that's why you see, I firmly believe in my heart, that's a big reason why you see a lot of us homeless on the street. This is why you see a lot of us hoeing and tricking. This is why you see a lot of us addicted to alcohol and drugs. And this is a big reason why there's so much discord between young couples, men and women, of marrying and family making age, because they're dealing with this baggage and they really haven't had a chance to get a hold of things. So just understand that this background, a lot of this baggage, a lot of stuff that we carry is actually preventing us from succeeding, and a lot of us are failing, and we got to figure out a solution to that so they can succeed as well. Just wanted to say that.
Okay, Bill, just before you come, I want to make a little statement real quick, and I promise you I'll give you a little extra time if you need it. I want to say to the parents, and when I say parents, both parents, mothers and fathers, when you start swearing, cursing at your sons and daughters, that's not a good thing. Trust me. And you cussing at them, get your ass over here. You look like your mother effing daddy. He wasn't no good. You ain't gonna be no. I mean, when you start saying things like that, screaming, hollering, and cursing at your children, trust me, by the time they get 12 and 13, they're used to that language. They're gonna be so mentally abused, and they so angry when they go out in the world. Angry. And we see a lot of young, angry, young youth, teenagers. They're angry. If you say something to them, they so in a defense mode. They're angry. You whoop them. They talk like a dog, and you beat them down like a dog. Now they're going to scream, I'm a teenager. But you standing up to an adult like you're a man or like you're a woman. And when you get beat down like one, now you want to scream, I'm a minor. I've seen that a lot. I've seen it a lot. So mothers, be careful what you say to your children. And I know it's frustrating for some of you guys. Fathers, it's frustrating. Child might be a little challenging to you, but you have to watch the words are powerful. You can break your son or your daughter's spirit They already battling spirits already, but then when you're not inputting the right things in them, you break that spirit. And then they grow up and in life and have a lot of resentment against the school teacher, against the counselor, against the police officer, against the boss on the job. You know, because they're just tired. They have blanked the whole world out. It's real talk. Somebody wrote on here, the spirit of rejection. That's what it is. That's what it is. I rode past today after leaving work. I seen this older man on a divvy bike and some young boys. And I was like, oh, Lord, I'm going to get this camera out. But they was arguing over the young boy. The boy could be no more than 12. He stole the older man weed. He stole his weed. And I'm looking like, yeah, he stole his weed. And we got it. That's it. You ain't getting it back. We took it. That's ours. That's ours. You know, an older man, they couldn't whoop him because they couldn't fight with their hands. You know, so I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay. Then I seen another one run up with a ski mask. I'm just looking. Nobody had a weapon. Nobody had a weapon, but they could not whip that old man. He stood his ground. So, Bill, go ahead. I just want to put that out there like that. We have some young people that grow up, they are demonic. Go ahead, Bill.
I'm going to start off by addressing the light skin, dark skin. Of course, it comes from slavery. The light-skinned people were treated a little better, but you gotta think that was Master's kid that was light-skinned. You know, even though they was a slave, it was unwritten or written rule that a seed of a white man was still black, but they were gonna have certain privileges. And I don't think, for me, looking back from when I was a youngster, it's not as bad amongst black people as it used to be. I mean, it was terrible in the 60s, 70s, especially for a young man dating. I remember it was a time you had to work extra hard if you wasn't light skinned and had a big afro. But that's that. The disconnection with the young people, I think a lot of it has a lot to do with the way you've been raised. Okay. When you been raised around older people and interact and there's a line of respect, you learn to respect not only the elders in your family but your neighbors, your mothers and grandmothers, friends, and all of that. There's a disconnect. Some of it is systemic, from the lack of fathers being in the house to the lack of mothers from during the crack epidemic. There were a lot of mothers that was taken away from they families and left with grandma. And a lot of these kids, I think, are so angry, like you said, is because the connection that they've had with older people, there's been a lot of broken promises. A lot of broken promises. And I'm listening to what 206 said, and you knowing that you went through the same thing, it's like one of the saddest stories, man. It brought tears to my heart, you know, because that's like some of the wrongest things you could do to a kid. And not to stick up for y'all parents that did it, because I never experienced that. My parents always lifted me up and gave me the best and did whatever it took for me. But to hear that a kid that experienced that, or an adult it's it's probably it's a generational curse and trauma that they suffered, and they thought that's what they supposed to do. 206, mother and father, like he said, birds of a feather fly together. Some people get in their mind, if I be hard on them, that's gonna make them a man. You know, not knowing realizing the trauma that they have afflicted or have suffered themselves. So, both of y'all being adult men to conquer that, man, and that's a battle, man. Because as a man, it's a little different. A woman, a female, she could cry out in a situation like that, but a man, a young man going into manhood, all of that, that's trauma and baggage that he's covered up, hid, and had to deal with, and to overcome it in just one generation is a spectacular thing. And I'm gonna go on mute and listen for a while.
Okay, we got OJ coming in. But real quick, I want to say, and Bill is so right. People, parents, you really have to be careful what you say to your children, because you are their first. You are their first. I would say first love, in a sense. You're the first person they look up to in the world. And when you say nasty thing to your children, I have I think my oldest daughter is like 29 or 30, and she could tell you, or any one of my children, I've never sweared at them. I never called them bees and whores and tramps and you'll never be none. And I've never in my life, it will hurt me to even say that, because it was done to me. And I made sure as becoming an adult that I would never do that to my children. You know, I've seen parents, I'm not just saying women, bring your mother so-and-so ASS on. You know, just hollering, cussing at you. That bothers me. That bothers me. And when that child get 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, they become immune to that. It doesn't bother them. They don't fear anything anymore. That's why the teachers can't teach. But go ahead, my brother, 281.
Greetings, Martin. Everyone on this panel. You will have another excellent show and another great topic. We live in a world right now with a lot of Black folks who are mentally ill, come from broken homes, bad upbringing, and most of that came from.
You got to speak up.
You got to speak up, brother. Put your mouth on the phone. You got to speak up.
I'll go on speaker.
No, go off speaker.
I'll go on speaker. I'm sorry.
No, go on speaker. Go off speaker. Put your mouth on. Yeah.
My bad.
Okay.
My bad. Hold on.
It's better right there. Martin? Yeah, that's better. Go ahead.
Okay, and I'll start all over. I said in this country we have a lot of Black folks who are dealing with mental illness, come from broken homes and very bad upbringing, and a lot of our parents come from the South. My mom come from Alabama. My dad came from Baton Rouge, and I really didn't know my dad like that. I knew he was my father, but I only seen him a few times. And of the few times that I did see him, he wasn't he wasn't a real. I mean, he was a dad, but he couldn't show me how to be a father to a son. I don't know what kind of relationship he had with my mom, but it was terrible. My mom said he was this, he was that, he was this, he was that. And I don't know if she said it because she was angry with him or if he hurt her or whatever it was. There was so many different stories. You never know the truth unless you were a fly on the wall. But at the end of the day, our parents don't raise us the right way because they don't know. Their parents didn't teach them anything. My mom used to say all these incredible things about our grandmother. And I got quiet because I was on the phone with her. And she said, "Why you ain't saying anything?" I said, "Mom, we love grandma, but I hated going over there.
And she said, what? I didn't know that. I said, I hated going over there. I said, why do you think I was crying the way I was crying? Because I didn't want to be there. You know, but you wanted to get out in the streets and party, hang out with your friends, but drop your kids off and you never know what's going on over there. Well, my grandmother wasn't.
Tell the truth
You did
and shame the devil.
Now my grandmother was a very protective woman. She was on Eastern Star. But her upbringing was, I'm going to whoop your ass if you don't sit down. Well, you got a 5 or 7 year old child and a 9-year-old child and a 10-year-old child, and they ain't got nothing to do but just sit there and twiddle their thumbs till their mother or father come back and take them up. What are we supposed to do? And if your parents do not know, it's because their parents did not know and their parents didn't teach them any better. My grandmother didn't teach my mother how to be a good lady. My grandmother didn't teach my mother. She taught her how to cook. My mother knew how to cook. My mother knew how to go out there and get jobs and stuff like that. But she was a terrible parent. We love her nevertheless. My mother has 6 kids. I'm the next to the baby. I pay her insurance. I take care of my mom. She's in Chicago. I'm down here in Texas. But I take care of her financially. And that's my job. I'm supposed to do that. But I have 5 other brothers and siblings, you know, that ain't doing anything. They right there in the shop, right there in Chicago, a train ride away, a car drive away. You know, when I come to Chicago, I get me a rental car and I go, the first thing I do is go see my mama. She wasn't a great mother, but she was my mother. She's my mother, and I love her to death. I'll do anything for her. And I'm telling you all this to say this here. I raised my daughter for 18 good years. I gave her the best. She ain't never seen the ghetto in her life. She don't even know what a ghetto is. If I took her to Chicago, she'd probably run back to the airport. I gave her the best life, and she turned on me and my wife. She turned on us.
Uh-huh.
And saying that to say this here, we didn't know that she was mentally depressed. We didn't know that she had these issues. And then when we did find out she had it, you know, well, now she's 18 and she can do whatever she wanted to do. And she said something to me one day and got flip mouth. This is before she was 17. She was 17 going on 18. And she got flip mouth. And she cursed me the hell out in front of everybody in the house and everything like that. I said, hey, yo, don't use that language in this house. You do, I'm going to smack in your mouth. And she did it again. I smacked in the mouth. So she fighting me. I'm holding her back, you know, to keep her from fighting me. I definitely don't want to hit her. But when the police got here, because she called the police on me, when the police got here, the only thing they could see is a black man and a daughter who has a little red mark on the side of her chin where I slapped her chin. Okay. So even with the ring cameras, we have ring cameras. That didn't help me out at all. They were inching to take me to jail. So I got kicked out of my house. I got kicked out of my house while I watched them build my house. I watched them pour the concrete on my house, the eyeball. But I got kicked out of my stuff. Well, I got kicked out for a little bit. And I had to go to court. I had to fight this case and everything. I won. And they threw everything out. Because what I did was I told the judge and my lawyer everything my daughter had been doing since the day she was born to now she's 18. My daughter, you can look it up. My daughter was at one of the best high schools in the state of Texas. One of the best high schools is called Star Academy. And this child was valedictorian of her graduating class. This child had everything, but something, I don't know what happened. We let her go to a party one day, and that was it. We let her go to this party. She turned up, and I don't know, she got a hold of something. I don't know what happened. All I can tell you was she didn't come back. She came back normal, but we could see her decline. And I'm telling you all this story because I could have kept it to myself, but I'm saying this to say you can come from a bad situation and turn your life around and do something great. I have 3 businesses and they're thriving. Do something great with yourself. Come from nowhere. Martin, I lived around the corner. You know what I'm talking about. Come from nowhere and do great. and you give your child the best that you can give them, and they may be suffering from some kind of mental sickness or something to that effect. All I can tell you, it broke me. It broke me. But I had to bounce back because I had other mouths to feed in this house. They dropped the charges and they threw the case out and this and that. Now you're stuck with a dilemma. You can stay here, you can get out. And I didn't put my daughter out. I didn't put her out. So she had job after job after job after job after job after job. She didn't even need a job. All she had to do was just go to school. We gave her everything she wanted. You need a car, we got that for you. But she didn't want to go to school. She wanted to get tattoos, hang out with her friends, and, you know, turn up and do TikTok videos in our bathroom naked and just doing nasty stuff. So to say that, to say this here, I sacrificed going to jail. Not prison, but jail. You know, you lock up and they let you out the next day. But it gave me something to think about. And what it gave me to think about is who I am as a man. And I told my lawyer said, you're a bigger man than me. He said, I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to do the best I can, but they looking to give you 5 years. And I told him, win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, that's my daughter. If it means me to go to jail for her, I'll do it. He said, you're a better man than me. And they kicked the case out and they threw it out, and I was feeling good. I didn't let her know when she was in here turning up, acting a fool and this and that. And I showed her the papers. I said, I can literally have you thrown out of my house, but I want to know what your intentions are. The next day was her birthday. She turned her birthday. I woke up, she had moved out. I didn't tell her to get out. She moved out. She met some guy on the internet. She wound up marrying him. 2 years later, she wound up marrying him. That's another story, and I don't want to get there. I want to land this plane and basically just tell you all that you can give your kids everything in the world, and it can still turn out bad. But we got an epidemic in the Black community that a lot of people are ignoring, and it's mental illness. And I will tell you, anybody that has anybody in their family, don't give up on them. Try to get them some help, and pray to God as best you can, because, you know, just because you see somebody walking down the street with a good life and got a $400,000 house and all kind of nice cars, and that doesn't mean they're gonna have problems too. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you for sharing that story with us. Someone need to hear it. You know who you are, and it's real out here, people. It's real. I always tell parents, you don't know what you're raising, just do the best you can. And as a parent, I've always, at the end of the day, it's not what you say you've done, it's how your children view you as a parent. I remember one day my daughter told me, Dad, you was a great dad when we was coming up, but you couldn't do no hair. And I did my best. I told my daughter I tried. I did my best. And did Martin Johnson make some mistakes? Yes, I made some mistakes. You know, as parents. Yeah, I know. Listen. As a grandfather now, I look back and I said, Lord, I did the best I could. Now, could I have done some things better? I would say yes. So any parent that's on here tonight that have made a mistake, don't come down on yourself. Just do the right thing, what's right. Now you know better, you can do better. Most parents, they make a mistake with their children, and then when they see their grandchildren, they really know how to put it together. You know, I watched my son with his son, and I sat back and observed. My son loved his son. But I told my son, I said, son, there's going to come a time at one point that you're going to have to discipline your child. You just can't let him just fall out and do anything and just, you know, you run to his rescue, everything. No, you can't do that. You have to teach him, because guess what, people? If we don't get our children right now, it's going to be too late when they 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 years old. And you heard my buddy on here. He gave his daughter the world, everything that she thought she could have. She never stepped foot in the ghetto. He raised up in a nice community. You don't know what it looked like, Martin. No, and I believe you. I believe you. What it looked like. She don't know what it looked like to miss a meal. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of us were coming up. I was raised dirt poor. We had powdered eggs, powdered milk, the canned stuff, and we had all that stuff. Government cheese. Yeah. Making mayonnaise sandwiches and serve sandwiches and butter sandwiches. I mean, I grew up with that, people. So I know how hard it is to struggle.
Hey, Martin, let me ask you a question. I
don't know about asking me no question.
Do you remember when they used to
go ahead.
Do you remember they used to give out the boxes of food and your mom was giving out the food to everybody? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. We got a lot of that ourselves. Yeah, we got a lot of that ourselves. So I mean, you got them porklings that come in a can, a little white can with the thing, you know. So you had
it had no label on it.
Right,
it was white label.
Right.
White label.
You had the we call it the frosted cornflakes with no sugar in it, you know, just a big old bag. You had the butter, you had the cheese, you had the powdered milk. Yeah. It's a lot of other stuff. I mean,
the peanut butter,
beans. So young people, a lot of you guys grew up, never missed a meal. And Art, maybe you can identify what I'm saying. I remember when the lights go out, we had to switch names. Well, the lights in Martin's name, now it's going to put it in so-and-so name. The phone go off, we put it in so-and-so name. This is what you do. When we was coming up, we came up hard. I had to shovel snow.
Yeah.
I had to carry people groceries to their car or to their home. I had a paper route. I didn't have an opportunity to have
you forgot about that.
Yeah. I didn't have an opportunity to have a new bike until I became a teenager. And let me say this to you. You know, it was 6 of us. It was 4 boys and 2 girls.
Yeah.
I've never had a bed by myself until I became an adult. I'm gonna say that again.
I believe that, Martin. But you also had some cousins that lived right across the corridor, and it was like 30 of them.
Yeah, it's a lot of about 13 of them. So I know what it is to have. I don't look like nothing I've been through, people. This smile that you see, but it's a painful smile. There's some battle wounds that I'm gonna take to the grave with me. You know, there's some secrets that I can't share with you that happened. But thank God I'm still here. I made it. I can smile through it all. So this is the experience that me and Sarge was talking about. I got this experience that the young people don't have. They don't know nothing about missing a meal. They don't know nothing about you have to wear your brother's shoes or switch clothes with your brother. They don't know anything about that. They don't know nothing about that. Some of us don't know, but we've been through it. Some of us, we don't know nothing about our family members, our father. The mother slept with the neighbor. And he was a married man, he had a baby by her. But your mom told, hey, your daddy ain't no good. Instead of really telling you that, hey, the man that I slept with was a neighbor's wife. Husband. Your mom not going to tell you that. As an adult, you should be able to put it together. Your mother not going to tell you that you was a one-night stand. She's not going to tell you that, hey, I was drunk on some drunk stuff in the club, in the bar one night. And me and your daddy got it on, and I ain't never heard from him no more. He said it wasn't here. It broke my heart. See, these are the pains that parents are not going to talk about to their children. I'm keeping it real. Now, I'm not asking nobody to get on here to confess what went on in your house. I'm not even asking that. But I'm just saying these are some of the things that the parents go through. And a lot of parents, they get older, they watch their children grow up, and they bitter because they know that they fail life. And they put their vices on their children, and that's not right. I'm not just talking about mothers, I'm talking about fathers as well. That's not right. You know, you mad because you got married and it didn't work out. And you mad at my marriage. Well, you know, I don't like your wife. I can tell when she look at me. That's my wife. That's my wife.
Martin, can I share this?
Yeah, go ahead, share that. And we got another caller. Go ahead, Marcus. Yes.
All right, let me just be brief.
Go ahead.
My experience was a little different. My auntie was jealous of my mother. My mother was the brains of the family. She was educated. She was the only one that completed high school. And she had a nice look, so she could get any man she wanted. My auntie was jealous of that. And what she did was she took it out on her kids. So I have this bitterness for my auntie versus the difference for most people would love their aunties. I love her, but I don't love her like I should love her because of the way she treated me and my sister when we were kids when my mother wasn't around. So that's going on in families too.
Okay.
And I'll just throw that out there.
Thank you, Marcus. We're gonna take a couple more calls, and I'm gonna try to make it out to this mass shooting. I might not go. I don't know. Depending on. Okay, we got a mass shooting over there on 70th and Murrow. That's what I'm hearing. So somebody just brought it up on the internet, but I didn't. And so I'm on live. So I don't know, people. 7676. Come on, last 4 digits of your phone number. Come on, caller. Hey, caller.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, how are you?
Okay. Hey.
Okay. Who is this?
Hey.
Who is this? Oh, Dr. K. Okay, I'm sorry, Dr. K. I didn't catch it at first. I was thinking about that mass shooting. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Doc.
There's too much going on. But you know what? Martin, this generation don't know about fishing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know about fishing. Getting that rod, being able to have that line lined up, get that little bell at the top of it, and get a hook and tie it up, and get the worms and pull back, release, and catch you a fish. I learned that as a little child, how to fish, how to scale the fish, how to cut it open. You know, I was raised in the South. So I didn't learn how to do fast things. You know, a lot of young people don't want to listen, but there's going to be a point in time you're going to learn how to fish. And I don't mean fish in a fish tank. I mean literally go to the lake and know how to catch you a fish and survive. Survival mode. A lot of them don't want to listen. You know, they in a microwave age, not understanding things. I heard a preacher say today in Bible class, want to talk but never want to hear and receive, because as you get older, you're gonna really learn some real life experiences, and it's gonna really make you think. You know, so my prayers for our young people is that they will settle down and listen. Just listen. May not like what's being said, but it'll help you. It'll give you a longevity of life. What's that saying you say, Martin?
What's that?
Don't let sin.
Okay. No, let me say it right. Sin will keep you longer than you want to be kept. It will take you further than you want to go. And it will make you pay more than you're willing to pay. And that's life.
Woo!
That is life. That is life. That is life, people. That is life. That's real talk. You still there, Dr. K?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're just talking about, I want to say this.
Martin.
Let me say this, Sarge, too. I want to say that there is a disconnect between us two, the young and old. Now, don't get me wrong. Young people do know some things. And the first thing they say is, you don't understand. And Dr. Sanders, my father always told me, he said the name changed, but the face stayed the same. Now, other word, if those that is mature enough that can comprehend what I'm saying tonight, the name changes, but the face stay the same. So let me give you an example. In our day, we call it happy stick. And today's day, they may say wiki stick or Sherm, whatever, but it's a different name. In our day, Dr. Sanders, we call it bud, skunk.
Yeah.
And today's day, they call it loud. So it's the face is still the same, but the name change. It's the same thing.
That's it.
Well, Martin, you did kind of put something together that's not the same. You said happy stick and something else, but happy stick is not marijuana.
No. I would refer. Happy stick is not marijuana. That I do know. We're talking about. Actually, it is. They call it water. Water. Today is the day. Water. Sure.
It's embalmed.
Right. Water.
It's embalmed.
We know what it's made of. We know that. They're called. Okay. The young people call it leaf. That's what they call it today's leaf. What they does, they dip that. They dip that, and they right. We call it sherm and happy stick. So they call it leaf. Okay, back in the day, my father used to sell syrup. He used to sell syrup back in the day. Now, syrup is real popular. They call it lean. Lean. It's the same identical thing. So young people, we understand what you guys got. Guess what? We was having sex at teenagers. Matter of fact, young people was getting married. They was getting married at 14 and 15 years old down south. You could testify to that, Dr. Sanders.
Yeah.
They was getting married.
Yeah.
If you get pregnant, they'd make you get married. Back in the day, they would make you get married.
Yeah, sure, blood.
Yeah.
Or if you got pregnant and you lived up here and your family was down south, they would send the girl back down there to have that baby.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a new caller, people. I want to see who this is. 314. Eric Cole. What's your comment or thought?
Not much. Just here to listen.
Okay, you here to listen? Okay. Well, hold on then. All right. Go ahead, Dr. Sanders. Finish talking.
Yeah, they would if you got pregnant, they would send you down south and you had that baby and other family members took care of that baby. You was not gonna come back up with that baby no more.
Mm-hmm. And that's real talk.
Yep. I remember them days.
So people, it's a lot that we go through, and I must admit,
I know all about it.
Yeah, sir, I'll call on you. I try to give you a chance to talk, so I understand just hold your thought. All right, I'll call on you when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready to talk. Then I'll be happy to bring you in. Okay, 314. All right, thank you. So I remember back in the day that, like you said, Doc said, we used to go fishing. We rode our bikes. We had to go out there, build our bikes. We played softball. We played volleyball. We played hopscotch. We threw the jacks. We played baseball with the strikeout. We played football. We played soccer. We played dodgeball. We played catch a girl, kiss a girl. We played, we did. We had Atari back then. Our cable was on TV, Spectrum. So we had our days, and guess what? A few people lost their lives when we was young in the hood, So we won't lie. What else I may say too? That anybody else can remember some things that we've done when we were younger? Those that's 50 and 50 and older.
Chinese jump rope.
Chinese jump rope as well.
Chinese jump rope.
Yeah.
Basketball, marbles.
Yeah, we played marbles.
You could take the rope and the board and hang it off the tree.
Martin, I was gonna jokingly say when you and the other guy that grew up with you, all the things you experienced, it was the choke challenge that saved y'all.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You know what, man? You so right. I forgot about that lunch meat. All right, you remember that lunch meat, man? That thick lunch meat, boy. Man, they should feed us that, man.
Hold on. Now the brother, hold on. The brother brought up the show. But little did he know, we had a little definitive plan with the show. Well, they used to put in there was 2 packs of ketchup. See, I don't know why they put ketchup in it, but they put ketchup in it and mustard and mayonnaise. If you put that stuff on there and drink it with chocolate milk, it will not go down dry. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah, but that's how it went back then. But something Martin, I was gonna enlighten you on is a young man. I wish I could help him, but I can't. He 34 years old right now, right? His mom and I was dating back in the day, right? And I had to go to Korea, so I'm over there, right? We didn't get married or nothing like that. She thought the way to hurt me was to keep that boy away from me. She started having problems with him. She found me on Facebook. We talked and everything. She gave me his phone number. I texted him, said, "Hey, this Leonard, call me if you're comfortable to call me." Blah, blah, blah. We talked. He thought I just abandoned him. I'm like, no, I didn't do that. I said, your mama done known where I was at ever since. So when I was married to the woman I married. After me and your mama wasn't dating no more, she knew where I was at. She didn't always know where I was at. I said, you need to talk to your mama and then call me back. He talked to his mama. His mama went on here and told him the truth. Well, he married Valinda instead of me, and I used you to get back at him. Wow. Now that boy ain't got it. I don't know what to do with him because I'm sitting there. I'm up in my room one day while staying down there. Right, we didn't broke up. We ain't seen each other no more. She done got with somebody she knows she ain't had no business being with. They used to beat on her before. That dude stabbed her in the forehead with a steak knife, and fortunately, it didn't go in far enough to damage her brain. Her friend Vina came and got me, told me, hey, this is what happened. And she talking about he was at his grandmama's house. Now, that boy was dead. He seen his mama laying there with the paramedics coming in with a knife stuck in her head. I'm like, that boy's ruined. The boy's ruined. And I can't help him. I wish I could, but I can't. It ain't nothing I could do, Martin, to reverse all that trauma.
Man. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, Sarge. Let me see what this is called. Anonymous caller. Who are you? Who are you, caller? Anonymous caller.
Sandy.
Okay, what is it that you want to say? We really don't accept anonymous calls. You have my number. I should be able to have your number too as well. So what's going on? What you want to say?
Oh, I just wanted to know if
hung up. Somebody playing games as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. But
so yeah, Martin. So that's now he's 34 years old. There ain't nothing I could do, and it's something that I did. I didn't think it would hurt him, but it did. I got a picture of him on my wall when I had that white Mustang convertible, and since you could text now, I took a picture from the picture that I got hanging up on my wall, and it's him. And he remembered that when he was little, and had them Rodman gym shoes that I bought him. And that boy was just like, he was hurt so doggone bad because he was like, he blamed his mother. He's like, it's my real father didn't want me. He wanted me, but since he didn't want you, you didn't want him to be my daddy. Now I grew up with no daddy whatsoever. He sent me a picture that let me know that man, he did love me. He do love me. But what I'm supposed to do now? I'm 34 years old. That hurt me. It hurt him. The decision she made back then, it was wrong.
Yeah, well.
It was wrong. And
let me say something, Sarge, to the men out there that's making babies everywhere. not trying to get to know them, not trying to build a relationship with your child. You get mad at the mother and you walk away and you leave and don't have nothing to do with the child. And you start another family. You fall out over that, then you go again and start another family. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. That's not fair at all. And you have men out there that's on that. They own that. They own that. And that's wrong. That's wrong. And the reason why I said that, because I don't want the women thinking we just bashing them. But there are some deep, dark secrets in our community that we must address. We have to address and keep it real amongst one another. You know, a lot of our parents, they sent us to church, but they didn't go with us. Also, I remember when we used your little pissy tail mattress, we jump and learn how to do backwards flips on these mattresses. We had game rooms. I remember all these things, man. So young people, if you listen to us, trust me, there's nothing new under the sun. You may be doing something that we did back in the day is a different name. And have you guys know that some of the same dances come around every 20 years? We did that. Some of the same dances. You call it something else.
Martin, I got a real quick story.
All right, come on, man.
What they call a PS5. We had what they call a PS5. We had Coleco. What they call a PS5. Okay. What they call Game Boy. That was the Mattel football game that we used to bring to school with us. See, all that there. So, you know, and I tell you, Martin, I'm gonna land the plane right here. You know, I could text you a picture right now. My son, my nephew, and that little boy. We was at Great Lakes Naval Base on the beach, and they sitting down on coolers, eating basically choke sandwiches like we used to. It was a whole big thing on the Navy base, and I brought them boys up there. It was 1995, the summer.
Come on, land that plane, man.
Okay, and we went to Bongo Beach and all that. And that boy, he remembers all that, you know. And that woman, you know, I mean, I don't harbor no hate for her, but I wish she wouldn't have did that, because that boy's destroyed. And he ain't no boy. He's 34 years old. He's grown. He's a well-grown man. He don't have no kids. He don't want to have no kids. He don't trust having kids, because he's like, I don't want to have any kids because I may just slip up and do what my mama did. That hurt my soul, Martin.
Okay. Come on, Art. We're going to close it out with you, bro.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about a good deed I did. I've done many good deeds before, but I had a friend that lived in the same high rise with me. And she would go to school at night and leave her son in the crib. I mean, he was old enough to be left in the crib. I think he could have been maybe 11 or 12 years old or something like that. I can't remember. But I felt like, don't leave a kid in the house like that for, all those hours in school. But you do what you have to do. I worked at a a boys club. I worked at a boys club. And I asked her one day, I said, hey, do you mind if I take him to the boys club with me? So he don't have to be sitting in the house, blah, 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 such and stuff. And she's like, sure, if you don't mind. I was like, no, not at all. So, it's a nice little ride to the boys club. So we talking and everything. And I asked him about his dad. He said he didn't know his father. I said, okay. Then he got real dark. He didn't say anything. He was clenching his fist. He looked out the window. He would look at me. I said, you okay, dude? And then he started crying. Well, okay. I wanted to listen to what he was crying about. He said he never met his father because his mother never introduced him to his father. Now, I'm kind of friends with his mom, boyfriend, girlfriend type thing. And I didn't want to get in her business. I didn't want to say, hey, how come you don't never see his dad? I didn't want to do that. I wanted to, but I just couldn't. And I didn't say no more about it. He comes in and he's playing with these other kids and they making fun of him. And they pointed at his shoes, and I didn't know. I had no idea. His shoes were so busted up, you could see 3 of his toes. They were flapping, they were talking. Well, I was embarrassed because I brought him with me. Everybody thought he was my child, and I played it off like he was. You know, I asked him after everything was over with. I had a 3-hour class. I asked him after everything was over with. I said, "Hey man, would you like some new gym shoes?" I would love some new gym shoes, but my mom may not like it. She may get mad. And I said, "You let me worry about that." I bought him some Nikes. I didn't buy him the Jordans, but I bought him some Nikes, little Nikes, high-top gym shoes. He was really, really happy, and that boy cried. He calls me often, you know, to talk about, you know, what I did and everything. But I brought that up to say to sit to our brothers on this panel right today. It's about time we do something just out of an act of kindness. You know, just out of act of kindness. You know, do something for someone within the community, because you had a young man on the show last night, Martin, and I really wanted to ask him, all the victims that you victimized, have you ever went back to them and said you were sorry? I know you know some of them. You still live in the same community that you grew up in, so I'm sure some of them victims are still there. But I'm making this point to say that it's high time we cross over and start helping people out. Now, we can't pay everybody's bills. We can't do none of those things. But you would be surprised how grateful somebody would be just for a bag of damn groceries. I'm laying that plane, man.
Okay. All right, people. I appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. Our second day in a row. I guess I broke a record. It takes a lot to work a full-time job and the hustle and come on in here and do the podcast, but I'm dedicated to keep it going. I got too much invested in it, too deep to turn around. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I would like for all those of you that are on YouTube, by watching me by way of YouTube, hit the like button. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button and share or tag someone. This is a real serious conversation that we had today, and I think someone need to hear this, and it'd be a blessing to them to learn how to handle different situations. And nobody knows nobody's story. Nobody knows what's behind the smile. No one knows what's behind the $400,000 house and the material things that we own. We don't know. You know, that's why I tell people, you may see a person on the CTA, on the Uber, then all of a sudden they appear with a brand new car. And now you envious. But you didn't see when they was on the train, all went alone, on the bus, taking a risk, going through these neighborhoods, trying to get to work. So we got to be careful how we look at people, how we judge them. And, you know, young people need love, older people need love, and we have to find some mutual ground to respect the young people. And I know they wet behind the ears and they don't know much and they think they know everything, but they don't know much. But they do know something now. They do know something. As the brother said earlier, they're very good with electronics and things like that. With these phones and these tablets and these computers, they're very good. They probably run circles around an older person with these material electronics, So again, I want to thank all my wonderful panel for calling in. Thank you so much. I want to give a special thanks to my friend Deborah Cooper. She left me a super chat. I appreciate you, Deborah, for your support. Thank you guys for supporting me, always sharing the video, liking on it, even just coming on here, participating. Thank you too. And we still got a long way to go, but we're growing, people. We're growing. Pretty soon, I'll be in my own studio, and I'll be able to invite some guests in. And that's one of my hopes, to invite you in, and we have a great round session going live, uncut and unedited with the Crime Chaser. So if all goes well, it'll be real soon. I appreciate you guys. You already know what it is.
You already know what it is.
What is it?
Live, uncut,
and what?
Unedited. Tell the truth.
And what?
And shame the devil.
And what else?
I love being black.
All right. Don't you ever let nobody tell you being black is wrong. You fall in love with your kinky hair, your coarse hair, fall in love with your broad nose, your full lips, and your light, dark, caramel complexion. God did not make no mistake when he made you. He uniquely made you. And don't let a man rob you in this life out of your creation. How God made you. You have greatness in you. The Bible said a man's talent will bring him before great men. No, his talent will make room for him and bring him before great men. Look at me, never had a class in broadcasting. Never. Didn't have no class on how to hook up the board, the sounds, the lights, but God sent a friend and we worked through it together and we got out all the kinks, and I'm still learning, people. Les Brown said, fail your way to the top. You know how you do something, you fail. You do it again, you fail. You do it another time, you fail. But eventually, it's going to work out if you keep trying. That's my word from you today, from me today to you. Thank you so much, people.